the last class we have been discussing that how this ego plays the role and how it really binds us. And again it goes further and further, few more verses. Today we can just read it as early as possible or as quick as possible. Yova pure suhamiti pratitah buddhya prakulpitastamasati mudhaya tasyeva nisheshataya vinashe brahmatma bhava pratibandha shunyaha. Says beautifully, this ahankara, this ego, that is being created in this pura. So pura means this body-mind complex. So when this ahankara that is being created, that has been created, is getting created because of few other aspects also we need to look at. This body-mind complex. So that is not the enough, says beautifully. And because of that reason, sa aham, I am so and so. It gets expressed this way. And of course, here, because of this reason, now the buddhi always try to associate with that, and everything is perceived, everything is being dealt, everything is related in keeping with that I am so and so. And of course, there is background. So the background, the support, everything comes from tamas, the ignorance. And of course, ati mudhaya tasyeva nisheshataya vinase eva brahmatma bhava pratishunya pratibandha shunya iti. So that means what? Now because of this ego that is being born, because of the backup or the support of ignorance, and of course perpetuated, encouraged, maintained, sustained by buddhi, then the person comes to the conclusion, or person starts living or dealing with I am so and so. And this is how life moves. So unless and until this association with I am so and so, which is nothing but made up of delusion, and which is again called the ego sense, unless and until that is being destroyed, definitely that what will happen? Brahmatma bhava. So Brahmatma means Atma is equal to Brahman. Me is Brahman. That bhava, that understanding, that sense definitely will not be there. Why? It says pratibandha sunya, unobstructed bhava will not be there. There will be bhava. Well, once in a while I am Brahman, other time I am, Abrahman. You understand? Yes, I understand I am Brahman, but I don't have practical knowledge. Theory is. Theoretically, I understand I am Brahman, but I need to have some practical knowledge, okay? So that's why let me practice and practice. Please understand, as you say, neither Vedanta is theory. I was happy to see this statement today. Good teamwork people have done, especially whoever is putting in the light of it. So today this Swamiji statement, Swami statement. So Vedanta is neither a theory nor is it practical. Shastra is basically means of knowledge. However, coming to the point. So what is to be done? He says, look, ahankara to be dealt. Because this ahankara, when is not, you are not able to deal with the ahankara to escape brings this theory, practice, this, that, so then makes you so helpless. So in the name of practice, you are under the spell of the ahankara. So if you practice, it will start fighting with you. If you don't practice, also it starts fighting with you. Can you see this point? Suppose while practicing, then ahankara, look, I am a man of practice, perfection. If you don't practice, of course you are completely destroyed. Ahankara takes over you in different way. How? This ahankara is being very nicely compared with a snake. And interestingly, the snake that has 3 hoods, not 1 or 2, 3 hoods. Imagine a snake, because we have all these things, 5 hoods, 3 hoods, 7 hoods. So it was believed that the Kaliya Naga, Lord Krishna, so played with 7 hoods serpent, okay? Together 7 hoods joined. And sometimes in the Facebook and other social media you see with the Photoshop, one big snake they make it 3 hood, 5 hood, so that all this Photoshop work, okay? And this, if you start sharing as quick as possible, you will get whatever you want, you wish, okay? And there are people also keep sharing. I am not telling you jokes. This is a nuisance all over the world. How to target emotional people and how to spread your network. Before going to the topic, today I can share with you. Today morning around 7:30, I received a call. So when I received a call, maybe later, okay. So I said, why, who is 7:30 call? Then I gave the gap, I did not take it. So after 15 minutes, I called back. The person picks up, hello, namaste, hari om. I was really, fellow I think he's getting up from the bed or whatever. So tried to talk. And happens to be from Odisha. So I didn't understand who is this fellow. So after listening to 5 minutes, because I was, to be very honest, I was losing my patience. Because morning when somebody, getting off the bed, calls, and without preparing oneself, how you feel? Means as though I don't have anything to do or what. Then after 5 minutes, I said, okay, will you please come to the point, what exactly you want? There is, yesterday I spoke to you. I said, I could have locked that number. And yesterday he called me, this person, can you see this point? Same thing also had called, I called back. So when I called back, he spoke like that. Then after that, actually I am busy with some people, I'll call you back. Same person, okay? Then after that, try to talk about his story. I don't know, it's not, I am this. I said, okay, tell me exactly what you want. I want one mantra from you. Will you please give me a mantra? I said, finally I had to say, I am extremely sorry. I am not from Divine Life Society. I had to say this part because he is from that. He has already taken a mantra and blah blah blah. I said, look, I am not from Divine Life Society, number one. Number two also, if one mantra did not work, how do you expect that another mantra will work? So the moment I gave my identification, who am I, then after that, I don't know whether he caught the line or line got caught. And after that, he didn't call me back either. So I was thinking to block him. Now there is no need to block either. So these are called emotional people. You understand what I am trying to say? And these emotional people, you can do all these things, sharing Guru Maharaj photos. You will gain what you want. You understand? Doing this you will get that. Doing that, you will get that. And all over, it's not only Hinduism, all over every religion, all this sharing happens only with reference to this emotional people. In India, we have another crazy idea. I don't know whether you people are not know, whether you know or not. This is Hanuman Paisa. So a coin, Hanuman, okay? That is, if I am right, 1817 or 1718, something, okay? The coin was released when Britishers were there during that time. The Hanuman, so one side there will be Rama, Lakshmana, Sita and Hanuman in that coin. That coin is supposed to be one of the very, very auspicious coin, whatever they say. And if it's the right one, it can go in millions. The coin itself, the cost, it seems. And there are people who go crazy. How it is true, don't ask me, because I have also, talked to some people how it happens. They say, Swamiji, you don't understand. I said, this is what I want to understand. I am really honest to understand, because I am a curious fellow, okay? No, Swamiji, problem is you don't. I said, you are a businessman, I am a devotee person, okay? Let me, you explain what is all about it. I may be able to help you to find out somewhere. No, Swami, nothing will happen through you. Please don't waste our time. You are just, doing criticizing us. I said, okay, leave it to them. Remember, all these emotions again is related to this ego, where the ego is not attended. That time you become emotional. When your ego is helpless. When your ego is not able to do its job, in short becomes helpless, that time you are emotional. So in short, emotional people are super duper egoist. Unless and until you are egoist, you are an egoist. You can never become an emotional person. That's why when somebody says, I am emotional, what does it mean? I am hurt. You understand? So emotional person tends to be hurt or not. Little bit you say, little bit you challenge, gets hurt. So how did he or she get hurt? Because of the ego. If there is no ego in you, that to the raw ego, please understand, there is mature ego, raw ego. Unless there is a raw ego in you, will you get hurt? Impossible. So that's why, indirectly, I am highlighting here. Whenever a person is emotional, whenever, then and there, your ego, in short, you are helpless. So, helplessness is being expressed through the emotions, with a covering that I am an emotional person, so that my ego cannot be challenged, need not be challenged. This is what the ego does, its own job. And interestingly, here is being highlighted, ego is what? Like a snake. So it has got 3 hoods. So the hoods are what? Sattva, Raja, Tamaha. So 3 gunas. That's why you have a very, raw, crude ego. You have, very manipulative ego. And you have got very subtle ego, fine-tuned ego, you understand? How the Sattva, Raja, Tama plays its role. So from 3 hood, it can be 5 hood, it can be 7 hood, it can have multi-hoods, you understand? And interestingly, this snake is not really going to leave so quickly. And because of this reason, he says what? Brahmananda Nidhi. Let us read first, okay? I didn't read, okay? Because I am got into the text already. Because in my mind already, I am in the text, okay? Let us read the next. Brahmananda Nidhi Mahabalavata Ahankara Ghurahina. Sambeshthyatmai rakshate gunamai chandaistrivir Vijnanakhya mahasina srutimata vichitya sirshattayam. Nirmulyahi nidhim sukhakaram dhironu bhaktum kshamaha. Good. I don't know whether you got all these words or not. So if you get, fine. If you don't get, also better. So only remember, okay, this ahankara is what? Snake. No problem, okay. So, says beautifully that Brahmananda Nidhi. So, Nidhi means a treasure. So, it is not only hidden treasure, it is also open treasure. Both. So, this treasure of what? Brahmanandam, absolute happiness. Interestingly, he says beautifully what? It is sambeshtya. Sambeshtya means protected, guarded, covered. By what? By ahina. So ahi means snake. So by a serpent. And what sort of serpent? Ghora ahina. So it's not ordinary one. Ghora, dreadful, very dangerous fellow. Now my question Maharaji. So what is that? How much power that fellow has? Mahabalavata. Very powerful, mighty. You can't really handle that fellow. Now question Maharaji, how big, how long is it? He said, look, understand, don't ask me how long, how big is it. Do you know what is that ahi? That is snake. Ahankara. So it can be as tiny as possible. It can be as big as possible. unpredictable fellow. Okay, where does it stay? He says, look, in Atmaniti, in the mind. And interestingly, Gunamayihi, Tribhihi, that too. So now, by this 3 gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tamaha, it is being guarded, it is being protected. So it keeps changing its color. It keeps changing its standpoint based on the gunas, not based on the situation. Remember, this point is very well to be noted. Ahankara does not change based on the situation. It changes based on the gunas. Same situation, if your guna changes, ahankara changes. Have you not observed that? So we have to be very careful. Because generally, based on the situation I change. Wrong. You never change based on the situation. You change based on your gunas. So then what happens? He says, look. So when you look at this, interestingly, this when it is done, and of course, this is being Vigyanaksha Maha Asina Smriti Mataha Vichidya Iti Sitsatrayam. This Nidhi, so this Nidhi means this is a treasure. Generally available for uses. But what happens? Now, because of this because of this ahi, this serpent, and of course, who is guarding? That is in the mind. Now this ahi only uses this treasure called Brahmananda. That's why all the happiness for common person is related to one's own ego. When the ego is being taken care, person is happy. Can you see this point? When ego is not taken care, will a person be happy? So now remember, the nidhi, the treasure that is available, absolute happiness, now being covered up, being hijacked by this serpent, now is fully used by the serpent. Now it is only when the serpent is being taken care, then only the treasure is available. That means the treasure is only used by and for. You understand what I mean? They say, now, by the people, for the people, of the people. Correct, if I am right? Some fellow wrote, okay? I don't want to use the bad word, okay? You remember in the childhood we used to do mug this statement, okay? By the people, for the people, of the people. And especially when this, in Indian case, when this, Independence Day comes and especially Republic Day. Independence Day is not, this was not. Independence Day we have to remember few fellows' names, okay? To shout. In Republic Day, they are democratic, by the people, for the people, of the people. Appa, to be very honest, we did not understand what is that of, by and of, But we did it, okay? Good job. Coming back to the point here. Same thing here also. So this nidhi, this treasure, is by the serpent, for the serpent, of the serpent. Because this joke you will enjoy, you will cherish. When if you have really studied in our time in India, okay, then you will be able to have pressure we have gone through. Especially in government schools, okay? Private schools is different altogether. Coming back. So, now, when this is what the life of a common person is, now here is being highlighted. Now we need to destroy this serpent along with 3 hoods. Why to destroy? There should be purpose, there should be reason. Because the treasure must be available to me. In fact, the treasure is me, you understand? So this Brahmanandam is me. So to make the Brahmanandam available to me, now this we need to use, or we need to destroy. What? We need to destroy this snake, and for that we need a sword. So what is that Asi? He says beautifully, what is to be done? What? Vijnanakhya Maha Asina. So Vijnanakhya means Jnanam and Vijnanam, there is a difference. So when it says Vijnanam, so Vijnanam is not actualization, not a self-realization, okay? Because whenever I read this realization, so I remember actually, because there was a fellow, he wrote, Master of self-actualization, something, coach. Very nice word. So it took me for a few minutes to understand. I asked the person, what is this self-actualization? He said, please, I am creating some gas. I cannot forget the very honest answer he gave me. I am creating some gas. Please allow me to make some gas. If you are so strict, how can I survive? I said, okay, create your gas. So, master in self-actualization or something like some, I forgot. Nice. When I saw the business card, I was really stunned. I said, hey, what is self-actualization? So from that day onwards, this self-realization and self-actualization became part of my package. This is how I picked up a word, okay? However, coming back to the point. So here, you need a Aussie. And this is not ordinary Aussie. Aussie means a sword. Because you have to destroy this snake, remember? And this snake is a very funny snake. Even though we have discussed, but as I told you, it can be as tiny as possible. It can be as big as possible. Because it's really unpredictable. That is what the problem here is. So when this is the situation, so what is the Asi? He uses the Vijnanakhya, not self-realization or actualization. So Jnana means knowledge. And how that knowledge to come? Knowledge has to come from the Shruti. Shruti mata iti. In keeping with the Shruti, in keeping with the teaching only. And Vijnana means, when this knowledge, Vijnana means with your own, let us say, while owning up this knowledge, because I was trying to say, while making it your own. Because knowledge, when you are committed to the knowledge, and you are one with knowledge, what in short we say, owning of that knowledge, being one with that knowledge, not experience. Please understand, there is very slightest difference, because you have to be very careful. Experiencing the knowledge and owning of the knowledge, being with the knowledge, there is a big difference. Because the teaching, all this external teaching or superficial teaching says, experience the best knowledge. You have knowledge, you know. This is my story. Like when I met a great Swami, from my teenage time, I had a great respect to him. So when I happened to meet him in Chennai, so first thing he said, how long you are in this land? How many years of experience? So I said, few years. Oh, you are so young. Very few years. I said, what does it mean? Yeah. Then I said, yeah, that means, yeah, experience matters. I said, this, if experience matters, in front of us discussion, there was a huge tree, and that tree happens to be a legendary tree, okay? So many sadhus, so many Swamiji has seen, that tree has seen. I said, this tree has got a longer experience than you, me, and everybody. So now, do you think that I go and respect this tree? Go and namaskaram to tree again and again because the tree has got a better experience than all of us? And of course that Swami, went inside. After that I have never seen him. One or two occasions in different diocese, that's all. So coming back to the point here. So, experience-based knowledge and here owning of the knowledge. How owning of the knowledge? Getting committed to the knowledge. Being with the knowledge. That's why we say owning of the knowledge. Here, this is what exactly called Vijnana. And through that what you do? Vichitya Sirshatrayam iti Nidatu Nirmulyam. So Nirmulyam means completely, there will be no mulam at all. No root at all. Interestingly, why it is being taught? Please understand. Generally, Shastra takes care, the teaching itself takes care everything, provided if your mind is available. If the mind is not available, you will discover different type of issues in you. As we were discussing long back, the commitments, level of commitments. I think few days back we were discussing in this afternoon class, if I am right. The commitment towards the teaching, supposed to be the best commitment. If you have got commitment, the best commitment is called commitment towards your teaching, towards the teaching, means the knowledge. If you don't have commitment towards the teaching, second level of commitment is commitment towards the teacher, not towards the God. I think in afternoon class we have discussed, or in the morning class, afternoon, okay. So if you cannot have the commitment towards the teaching because your mind is not prepared, because there are obstacles, because of many other factors, at least have the commitment towards the teacher. So the teacher takes the second place in the hierarchy. And if you cannot have commitment towards the teacher, at least have commitment towards the God. Because commitment towards the God is secondary, means we look at it in different way altogether. Because if there is no commitment towards the teacher, but straight away you put no commitment towards the God, what happens in the process is, God is your object of fancy or wish fulfilling dream. Like in our teenage time, this is the best example. Every boy and every girl differently, they are connected to their parents. They praise their parents for what? One side rebellious, other side, you understand? They want money, because those who do not know, those who are very nice people, they will not understand, okay? People like me, I know very well, okay? One side, you know everything. You are already grown up, you understand? Other side, without money you cannot survive. You need their money. So when money time comes, how you behave? So you went down, but very nicely you handle. Once you get the money, then what you do? I know what to do, what not to do. Just imagine. So it may come, beginning of the teenage time or end of the teenage time. Okay, it depends upon your maturity, how quickly you grow up. I always suggest better to have this as early as possible, so that you are a better matured fellow. If it comes at the age of 30, 40, means you are gone case, okay? I'm sorry to say. So, how teenagers, especially in this context, look at their parents. They think, look, you are there to take care of me. This is what we talk, I remember. It's your problem whether you have money or not, I don't care. You have to take care of me because you have given me birth. You understand? This is my birthright. I'm sorry to talk. This is the truth, this is the intention. So how a teenager looks at the parents, same thing, a devotee looks at the God. Have you not observed? So that means that God becomes wish fulfilling tree. If the God does not fulfill my wish, do I look at that God? Why, especially in Hinduism, there are hundreds or thousands of gods, and every day one God is being introduced. Like recently one Muslim fellow has become God. Because it is being marketed. And I am not telling you jokes. Put my photo and make it God. It will work. Or any one of your photo. It will work. It makes no difference at all. It depends upon how you market. I am sorry to say. However, what I am highlighting here is that you need Shruti. So that's why commitment towards the teaching, then comes teacher, then comes commitment towards what? God. Then comes commitment towards people. Then commitment towards objects and situation. But unfortunately, we shift, and finally comes commitment towards your fancies. There is no commitment, that is called taking care of your fancies. You understand the concept? Finally comes not commitment towards the fancies, taking care of your fancies. But what happens? What is our hierarchy? Commitment towards fancies, commitment towards fancies, and commitment towards fancies. And whoever is helping to take care of my fancies, because of that reason, I am related to that person. Maybe it can be scripture, it can be teacher, it can be God, it can be dog. You understand? Dog is pet, okay? More important than the God, okay? Don't forget this nowadays. Poor God is restricted in the house, okay? But dog is not restricted. Dog can enter anywhere and everywhere. In fact, dog is all pervasive in the house than the God. Let us not forget, the power of God. Dog is more nowadays in the house than poor God. God is being restricted in one house. If you don't feed, God cannot say anything. If you don't feed to the dog, you know what the dog will do. You understand? Forget that. The fellow has not eaten at all. What emotions? Anyway. So commitment to arts only my fancies and fancies. And because of that reason, I have all sort of problem in my life. In fact, this snake is becoming more and more strong. Let us go ahead, because I am supposed to go in little higher speed. Now, with the help of Shastra, and of course Shastra means what? The teacher has to be there. Without teacher, Shastra will not work at all. Now this sword becomes stronger. When I say sword becomes stronger, because when it becomes tiny, you need a very tiny nail. So the sword has to change, you understand? Because it is a funny type of snake. It's not really big. Anytime it can have any shape. That's why the role of the teacher is more important here. Because especially as I see more and more, anybody in the world. That's why we say Swayambhus are dangerous. Swayambhu means self-made. In any field. Self-made businessman, self-made artist, self-made anything is dangerous. Have you not observed? And self-made Swamijis are more dangerous. That's why we say very carefully, this is my personal observation that I want to really tell everybody openly. Even if there are Swamijis, they have taken, initiation or even if sannyasa from great Swamijis, if they have not lived with their master, if they have not served under that master for a length of time, they have not gone through, I will tell you, that is also another type of nuisance. It will not work. It never works. Because you become so arrogant in the process. In fact, because you are arrogant, you could not survive with your teacher. You understand? You run away. Why you run away from your teacher? Remember, whenever a student run away from the teacher, what does it mean? Because of arrogance. Nothing else. That's why this is a very good point to understand, to note. So anytime a student runs away from the teacher, they will be related to some type of arrogance. There is no other choice. So if the teacher asks the student to go away, that's another thing. If any time a student leaves a teacher, means there will be some type of arrogance. There is no doubt in it. Some form or other. However, let us not get into the controversial situation here. So here he says beautifully that how this ahi, this arrogance again is another ahi, the current form, okay, ahi means snake. Now this snake, what happens? Now has to be destroyed. Without any root, means completely. Then only what will happen? This nidhim, which is sukhagaram, which brings the happiness, which is the cause of the happiness. Of course, the wise man, anubhuktum kshamaiti, the wise person becomes capable of enjoying it all the time. For a common person, the happiness is available based on what? Based on ahi, snake. And who is that snake? Ahankara, the ego. So for a common person, happiness completely depends upon the ego. So ego-based happiness, if you want to use one, okay? So common person's lifestyle or living or happiness is completely depend upon ego. That's why if you take care of the ego, person is happy. If you don't take care of the ego, person is unhappy. Very simple. So that means in short, if my ego you take care of and I become happy, that means I am a common person. Is it clear? Whereas, if I know what is this, whether you take care of my ego or not makes no difference, that is called wisdom. The happiness must be available to me all the time. That's why by default, a Swami name is being given Ananda towards it. To remind the Swami, hey, you are Ananda, okay? The Ananda should be available to you first, not to express, It doesn't work, I'm sorry to say. It never works. That's why, once you see this thing, then what happens? Let us look at next verse, okay? I had a plan, to continue complete few verses just like that, but you know me, it's not happening by me. I don't know what is happening. Something is wrong with me, in this regard. Okay. Yavat ba yat kinchit Bisadosas prutirasti chet dehe Katham arogyaya bhavet Tadvat hantapi yogina muktaye. Says beautifully. He gives different type of examples. Now he says, look, here, this ego is not only a snake, also poison. Because nobody cares, nobody is scared of snake, to be very honest. But people are scared of the poison that is in snake. Can you see this point? I remember in our childhood also, I have observed this point. Some people run behind to snake and they catch and they want to have a snake bite. Especially water snake. There is one particular snake that is called water snake, which goes very fast in water and no poison at all. And they say very nicely that if that water snake has bitten you, 1 year you can close your eyes, no other snake will bite you. I don't know whether it is a faith, a belief or whatever. So children, what they do is, they do not get into catch hold of that fellow. Hey, bite, open and bite it. Poor fellow will cry. I have seen many guys say, don't do that. No, so that one year we are free. You are not free from the fear of snake bite. I don't know who has, because maybe they have created this superstition, because I need to check. Possible also, it is there, might be. So that even if that snake bite that happens, so you do not be afraid and don't kill the other fellow. Because generally when it bite happens, people kill straight away. So that you don't have, why it is not harmful, so allow it. So that they grow very well. Maybe that said, it has been said. Anyway, we do not know exactly the truth. Now, how that happens, even if that snake, because there is no poison, or that whatever little bit namesake poison is there, that will not affect your system. That's why you don't bother. But if you do not know, seeing that you will get scared. That's another issue. Like many people are scared of frog. You cannot think of. The moment a frog jumps, so you can see the, forget a frog. Most of the ladies have this, what do you call, what is that insect? The fly is, name is not coming, okay? Okay, nothing is coming. We're starting with, spider. Some people are afraid of a rat. Each one, some phobia, this is called phobia. Something might have happened some life. That's why this is called phobia, okay? However, coming to a point here. So here he says, now this poison. Now what he says, yabat ba yat kinchit bisha dosha spruti asti chet, that too dehe. So how? If there is a little bit trace, yat kinchit, even if a trace of what? Bisha dosha sprutihi, the effect of the poison in the body, definitely katham arogyaya bhavateti. So definitely the body is not going to recover either. How can there be complete recovery? That's why you can see very nicely, very carefully, when there is snake bite, what they do? They give antivenom. So when they give antivenom, they make sure, in fact they test it, whether all the venom, the previous one, is completely neutralized or not. If there is a little bit trace, again they increase one more dose. Because I have seen one case in my life, I cannot forget that. There was another incident with this reproductive snake. Generally they give, if I am right, 3 to 4. It was perfect. Because there was some issue I had created, some other thing happened. They started giving more and more. I said, no, we don't want to give any, we don't want to take any chance. I said, please, God said. Then finally said, don't worry, Swamiji, we are taking care of everything. Why are you bothered? Government will take care of everything. They made it. I don't know how they made it. Because as per the rule in India, those days, I don't know now, whatever antivenom they give, in government hospitals especially, so 50% government will take care, 50% party will take care. Nowadays, what is the rule? I myself do not know, because everything is changing day by day here. However, let us not get into that is personal matters. So here, what he says is that as long as there is a small portion of poison in the body, definitely body is not going to recover completely. Now, so also here, he says that tadvat, exactly like that. Ahanta api yoginaha mukti. So here, ahanta, aham, this ego sense, even if it is there slightest amount with the yogi. So yogi means the one, here the context is the one who is meditating, one who is spending time, a wise person. There is no wise person. Yogi, the one who is meditator, better one. That means for that person, definitely there will be no mukti. There is no liberation. So in short, liberation is nothing. Liberation is annihilation of ahankara. So the more ahankara strong in me, the stronger ahankara I have, the more bound I am. So the bondage, the other name of bondage is called ahankara. So more egoist I am, the more I am bound. The more emotional I am, more I am bound. Whenever I am emotional, I am definitely a bound person. That's why don't take credit. I am emotional. Somebody said nicely, Swami, you have to understand, I am an emotional person. That time you have to take care of my emotion. So you think that I don't have anything to do or what? I have to take care of your emotion or tie down your emotion? Tell me. So please take care of your emotion or get destroyed by your emotion. More of it. We'll see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.